Hey everyone, Catch 'em All Collectibles here. Quite the lengthy video last week. I just recorded it only about half an hour ago, but the lengthy video on conventions. As you see this, I'm still in Orlando at the convention, traveling home later today sometime if you're watching this the day it came out. Let's have a bit of a lighter, quicker video for this week. Next week, if you want to check back, I will have an Orlando Collecticon recap, how it went, what I sold, if I bought anything, if I pulled anything crazy. Hopefully I didn't gamble on any packs, but we'll see what future Dan does. Anyways, I'm going to touch on the math behind Moonbreon. A little bit of a discussion on pull rates, dry streaks, probabilities, luck, and maybe likely takeaway from all this will just be buy singles, don't rip packs. Probably that will be the likely outcome. Anyways, let's get right into it. So in the past year or so, there's been some very notable chases where some madmen, the three select madmen I chose here were PokeRev with his Aerodactyl from Lost Origin, Rusty with his VMAX Climax Master Set, and then Rattle, who, as far as I understand, is still undergoing his Evolving Skies Moonbreon chase, and just talk a little bit about how dry their streaks were and the math that goes into it. Won't be everyone's cup of tea, but I think it does affect all of us. The gambling that's at the core of the hobby. All these cards come out of random assorted booster packs and massive astronomical set sizes these days, massive amount of chase cards, and just absurd pull rates that go into them. And maybe another outcome from this, not only buying singles over ripping the cards, ripping the packs yourself, but maybe some of these ultra modern chase cards, maybe the prices are more realistic than you think, given how hard it can be to pull them. But let's just get into it. A little bit of the anecdotal, three different experiences we had here that I'll cover, and then I'll get into the math of it a little bit in the future slides, and then show you some calculators that you can use. A little bit of a old school RuneScape tie-in analogy for the equating like drops from monsters in the game compared to like pull rates of Pokemon cards. Kind of some fun tie-ins there. Always got to shout out RuneScape because that's where I learned to buy and sell on the streets of Gielinor. So anyways, sometime last year, not too long ago, PokeRev opened 66 plus boxes on stream. I think he intended to do all in one stream, opening a Lost Origin Master Set. And anytime you say you're going to open all of something in one sitting, you're tempting fate there. You're really setting yourself up for a long stream. And you may or may not ultimately end up doing it. I believe that's around where PokeRev tapped out, around 2,400 packs. And we don't know for sure. I think 1 in 1,000 is approximately what we kind of take as the assumed pull rate of a card like Moonbreon. Depending on the source you look at, I'll actually show a source from 10,000 packs of data on Reddit later in the video. But anyways, assuming a 1 out of 1,000 pull rate for Lost Origin Aerodactyl or Moonbreon in Rattle's instance, he went 2,400 packs dry on a 1 out of 1,000 pull rate. Some people thought like, oh, math is funny. Math is the most useful subject. I will always stand by. I think that's an objective fact. Math is the most useful subject that you learn in school, K through 12, and a lot of people hate it. A lot of people don't take anything away from it. I think a lot of people are really bad at it too. I'm probably running, not being a chemical engineer for a year and a half, not having been in stats class since college, I'm probably running worse on it than I should be at this point. But anyways, a lot of people think like, oh, it's a 1 in 1,000. You're going to pull it in 1,000 packs, right? Like everyone probably pulls it. Most people probably pull it within 1,000 packs, but PokeRev was impossibly unlucky, this, that. If you do the math on it, PokeRev was actually only 1 out of 11 unlucky. Basically, said another way, if 11 people opened 2,400 packs of Lost Origin, he would have been the one, statistically speaking, to not get it, whereas the other 10 would have expected to have gotten it. So 9% unlucky, not horribly unlucky. I mean, if 11 people are doing it, one of them is going to get that unlucky, and PokeRev was that one. So that's just where it worked out. Rusty, way more complex situation when you're not looking at one card. You're looking at 403 card master set. You don't care about which specific one you want. And I guess PokeRev's instance too, it could have been anything. It just happened to be the Aerodactyl. The Aerodactyl shouldn't be any more rare than any of the other alt arts. And I believe he pulled 6 of one, which we can do the math on in a little bit. How lucky was he to have gotten 6? 6 of a card that theoretically he should have only gotten 2.4 of, right? He only went 2.4 times the pull rate, the drop rate, if you're talking RuneScape, and he pulled 6 instead. he was fairly lucky with the Giratina, I believe it was. And then the Aerodactyl, he was quite unlucky. 1 out of 11, 9% unlucky. Rusty with his VMAX set, I will kind of propose a challenge for anyone mathematically inclined, statistically inclined. Kind of a challenge for how do you calculate, with all the moving parts, all the different cards there are, how do you calculate the expected amount of packs to open an entire master set? What is the math that goes in that? There's going to have to be some assumptions, assuming Aerodactyl's 1 out of 1,000, assuming Moonbreon's 1 out of 1,000. But then, yeah, Rattle, I don't know where he's at exactly. I didn't follow any of these. I didn't watch the whole PokeRev stream. I watched maybe 10, 20 minutes of it. I watched a couple of Rusty's live streams that he did across a month or maybe a few weeks. Rusty did several live streams opening, I want to say 100 plus, if not 200 plus boxes of VMAX Climax. It was a thing to watch. It was a thing to behold. How and I don't even know whether he went dry or not. It's just these sets are that big. But Rattle's about 1,000 packs in to a 1 out of 1,000 pull rate, and a lot of people would say, well, he's opened 1,000 packs. That 1,000th one, you're supposed to just pull it, right? That's how the math works. 1,000 over 1,000, you have a 100% chance of doing it. That's not the way the math works. Actually, if you do the math on it, it's about 63%. I rounded to 1/3 here. It's about 63% chance that you'll get a card by the pull rate. If you're opening that many packs, 1 out of 1,000, opening 1,000 packs, 63% chance approximately that you'll pull it by the pull rate. So he's approximately 1 out of 3 unlucky. If 3 people are doing what Rattle has done, opening 1,000 packs to try to pull a Moonbreon specifically, 1 out of 3 of them would be expected to have not pulled it. Of the other 2, I mean, 2 out of the 3 would be expected to pull it. Maybe one of them would pull multiple as well. We'll get into that on the next slide. And one thing I want to say, like, I guess this is towards Rattle because he's actively engaged in this chase. I think PokeRev and Rusty are done with their specific chases that they had underwent last year. I believe both theirs fell. But just know, Rattle, whoever you are, whatever card you're chasing, no matter how many packs are behind you, your odds of opening it in the next pack are no better. Just because Rattle, the next pack doesn't know that Rattle's opened 1,000 packs. The next pack doesn't care. Gambler's Fallacy. You go to a casino and the roulette wheel hits black, 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 black. You put your money on red because you think it's more likely to happen. Your odds are the same, slightly less than 50% still, that it's going to land on red no matter how many times it hit black in a row, because the roulette wheel doesn't know what it's landed on. The craps dice don't know what they've rolled. The blackjack dealer doesn't know what has been dealt. Your odds are the same moving ahead for every future instance. I guess getting on a really thing, say 5 million packs of Evolving Skies, 10 million, 100 million packs of Evolving Skies had been printed. Whatever, theoretically, his odds might be slightly increased if he opens 1 million packs, right? Because like some finite amount of Moonbreons were pulled. But for all intents and purposes, his next pack has no higher odds of pulling the Moonbreon, no matter how many packs he's opened behind him. The next pack doesn't know. It doesn't care. So good luck for anybody heading down the path of one of these massive chases, because it's pretty wild. I mean, Rattle's at a point where I don't know what he's paying for these packs, but market value on an Evolving Skies pack is somewhere around $6. $6,000 in packs going towards an attempt to pull $500, $600 card raw. Obviously, he's pulled other cards in the meantime. It's not like he has no value. He hasn't just burned $6,000. He's pulled something. But a lot of money to chase one given card when your goal is that one ultimate card. Continuing on, do you feel lucky, punk? As I touched on in the last slide, doing the math, we'll show a Wikipedia page if anyone wants to dive in real deep. E to the -1. Euler's constant, I believe it is. Forgive me if I'm wrong there, but only about 63% of people will pull the card by the pull rate. So if you're talking base set unlimited, say you're pulling heavy packs, say you're chasing Charizard. Shout out, I'm in Orlando right now. Hopefully somebody pulled a Charizard out of one of my base packs. I don't know at this time, but hopefully they did. Hopefully I can tell you in a week. If 100 people are buying base heavy packs, not just from me because I don't have that many packs, but if there are 100 boxes worth of base heavy packs and 100 people are just going for it, going balls to the wall for Charizard, only 63% of people will pull a 1 out of 15 Charizard from a heavy pack in 15 packs. So, I mean, there aren't even 15 packs in a box. So if you do the math on that, like your odds of getting a Charizard in a box, I think a lot of people misattribute your odds being approximately 75% because there are there are 12 heavy packs in a box, 12 hollows in a box, and there's 15 hollows in the set. So people do 12 over 15. Well, your odds of getting a Charizard in a box are 75% approximately, right? Or yeah, 12 over 15. It wouldn't actually be 75%, but it would be 80%. 80%. My brain is failing me late on the Saturday night that I'm recording. So your odds are not actually 80% of having a Charizard in a box. It doesn't work exactly that way because you can get duplicates. So you can't have 2 Charizards in a box. You can't have 3. You can have 3 Nidokings that hurt your odds of getting the Charizard. But yeah, if you're opening 15 packs, only 63% of people will get the Charizard. So stating that, given that there's only 12 packs in a box, it's got to be less than a 63% chance that a Charizard is going to be in any given box, right? And looking at it a different way, if people are opening 3,000 packs, going back to Moonbreon, or you can do the same thing, regardless of pull rate, as long as you do multiples of pull rate, whether it's 3,000 packs for Moonbreon, because that's 3 times the pull rate, or whether it's 45 packs for Charizard. So you can use either one. I'm just going back to Moonbreon here. 5% of people will not pull a Moonbreon in 3,000 packs. 5% of people will not pull a Charizard in 45 packs. So how lucky or unlucky do you think you are? Not only that, greater than 5%, it's actually closer to 6%, will pull 3 by the pull rate. So you could be the 1 out of 20, line up 20 people, start ripping 3,000 Evolving Skies packs each. One of those 20 people, statistically speaking, on average, will pull 3 Moonbreons, and one unlucky chump in 3,000 packs will not pull one of them. It's just funny the way math works out. If you open, obviously, 20 people, 3,000 packs each, 60 Moonbreons on average will be pulled. 60,000 packs divided by the pull rate, approximately 60 will be pulled, but they won't be universally distributed. I mean, they could be theoretically in one given sample, in one given test, but overall, you'll have on average 1 out of 20 people pull 0, 1 out of 20 people pull 3. Just the way the math works out. If 100,000 people, getting really crazy here, if 100,000 people are chasing Moonbreon, and honestly, across the world, across the country, there could be that many. There could be that many people ripping Evolving Skies packs frantically, trying to pull their own Moonbreon. 100 people, very easy math. If 100,000 packs are opened at once, 100,000 individual people, 100 people will get it on their first pack, right? It's a 1 out of 1,000, 100,000 people doing it. 100 people will be lucky and get it on pack 1. And on average, amongst those 100,000 people, if they all rip packs to open a Moonbreon, one unlucky guy, the most unlucky guy or gal out of 100,000 people, it will take them 11,000 packs on average to pull a Moonbreon. 11 times the drop rate, 11 times the pull rate to pull that Moonbreon. That would put you in the 99.999th percentile unlucky. So PokeRev was fairly unlucky, 1 out of 11 unlucky. Rattle's been a little unlucky, 1 out of 3 unlucky. If you were 10 times, 11 times the pull rate, you are like 99.999th percentile unlucky. You are 99,999 out of 100,000 unlucky. Just getting into the extreme examples. And honestly, like 100,000 sounds like a lot. There are more than 100,000. There are millions of people. So if you're that least lucky guy, you might have to open 10, 15,000 packs of Evolving Skies to pull the Moonbreon. Please don't do that. Please don't. If you're that unlucky, please don't do that. Buying singles feels like it makes more sense now. Challenge for anybody. It's a more complex problem because you're not dealing with one specific card. Use base set to make it easier math. How many packs on average would it take to complete a master set of base set? Assuming you're pulling unweighed packs, 1 out of 3 chance at a hollow, 1 out of 15 at any given from a heavy pack. So 1 out of 45 for the Charizard, 1 out of 45 for the Blastoise, 1 out of 45 for the Venusaur. Some people are good at programming. They could program a script. They could write a script that would do that. They would open packs, simulate opening packs 10,000 times, run it 10,000 times, and they would just give you, on average, it took this many. I don't know how to do that. There would be a way to get it with math, but I would need to brush up on my stats. I haven't been in a stats probability class since college. It's not coming to me right now. But if anyone knows how to do that in comments, DM me, send me an email. I would love to see it. Maybe I'll make a further video on it down the line. But really interesting math behind all that because you can get duplication and those things pop up that just make a lot more complexity into the calculation. That ends the presentation. Let me go to the next tab. And I do have here I'm not going to go through this whole Wikipedia, I promise you. Binomial distribution is what you want to get at when you're trying to in probability theory and statistics. The binomial distribution is the odds of certain number of successes in a certain number of trials with a given probability. Whether you're doing dice, whether you're doing craps, whether you're doing roulette, chasing your dragon warhammer in old school RuneScape as an Iron Man, or whether you are pulling Moonbreons, pulling Charizards, things like that. A little bit of light reading. I'll try to remember to link below if anyone wants to go through that. The answer is likely in here for how you would calculate. I don't just need Moonbreon. I don't just need Charizard. I need all 20 Altarts. I need all 15 Hollows from base set, and then calculating the expected number of packs to do that. Fairly complex, high level probability that's not coming to me. Back in college, I probably could have sorted it out, but right now the 1.5 year full-time Pokemon brain, it's just not clicking. Even 10-year chemical engineer brain, it's not clicking for me. Here's an example from RuneScape. Shout out old school RuneScape, the old school RuneScape wiki. You can put in your odds of the drop. Say you're looking at Charizard. 1 in 15 is your odds of getting a Charizard out of the heavy pack if you're buying one from me at Orlando, if you already did. And if you open 15 packs and you want to get, like, what are my odds of getting exactly one Charizard in 15 packs? Your odds of getting, well, let's do 0. So what are your odds of getting 0 Charizards? You can do it right here. As I said earlier, it's about 6. This is showing 64.4. Your odds are 36% chance of getting 0 Charizards if you open 15 packs, if you open more than a box. So let's do a box. Let's look at your odds of getting a Charizard are 1 out of 15. You open 12 packs. You open an entire box of heavies, or you just open the whole box, heavies and lights. Your odds of not getting a Charizard are 43.69%. So that shows you right there. If you do 1 minus that, what are your odds of getting a Charizard in a box? Your odds of that would be approximately 56%. 56% of getting a Charizard, or 1 or more. So it could be 2, it could be 3. The most likely would be 1, and then down from there. But yeah, you can figure it out. Like, same thing. Like, what are your odds of getting 3? Well, your odds of getting more than 3 are only 0.6%. Having that juiced of a base set box, that would be very, very unlikely. And honestly, there may be certain things that are thrown in, certain wrenches thrown into it with track printing, the way they fill the packs. It might not be possible. It's almost certainly impossible to get 12 Charizards, right? To get how many base set unlimited booster boxes they printed? You mathematically, you probably almost could if it was truly random, but I think it's more of a quasi-random, in that some kind of a track printing from the way it comes from the sheet. This is getting really deep, really into the weeds, so I'm not going to go much deeper there, but I'll link this in the description below. And there's also not one tied to RuneScape. Next, it's called Stattrek. Basically, you put in your probability of success on a single trial. This one you have to put in decimal form. So like Moonbreon would be 0.001, 1 in 1,000. If you open 3,000 packs, as I said earlier, what are your odds of getting 0? I might have to refresh this page. Let me refresh the page quick. So 1 in 1,000. I'm gonna open 3,000 packs, like I said on slide 1. What are my odds of getting 0? As I said earlier, it's about 5%. It's about a 5%. 5 out of 100 people, 5% of people, 1 out of 20 people will not pull a Moonbreon in 3,000 packs. Rattle, I hope that's not you. I hope you're not 1 out of 20 unlucky, but you could be. So just be cautious if you stay on this crusade to pull a Moonbreon yourself. Know the math behind it. That's one. Math doesn't lie. Math doesn't care about your feelings. This is just the cold hard truth. That is what your odds are of not pulling a Moonbreon 3 times the pull rate. Daunting, scary to think about. $20,000 worth of packs and not pull a $500 single. Let me see if I had another tab. So I did. Here's a page on Reddit. I'll link this. 10,000 packs opened from Evolving Skies. I don't know what the number would be, but I think the number would be significantly less than 10,000 packs. Expected value of opening a complete master set of Evolving Skies. But yeah, let me know. Let me know if anyone can take the challenge and tell me how many packs it would take, assuming Altarts are a 1 in 1,000 pull rate. You can go through here and you can see like Rainbow Glaceon, they only pulled 3. 1 out of 3,800 pull rate. Sample sizes are a big deal. When odds of cards being pulled are 1 in 1,000, I think you need to go 10, 20, 30 times the individual pull rates to get a good sample size. But still, you're going to be fairly unlucky on certain ones. And you can see that not all the full arts are the same. A lot of the full arts end up right around 10, 11, 12, but some are 14, some are 8. There's going to always be a bunch of variance when the pull rates are that astronomical. And I love math. This kind of thing I really enjoy. Yeah, I think that's everything I've got. Let me go back to the full face cam. I didn't think this was going to go 20 minutes, but it did. So hopefully people found it interesting. Let me know in the comments below. Are you on any big chase? Do you have a goal that you have to pull XYZ card yourself? What are the odds of it? How deep are you into it? Do you wish you had just bought the single? Are you not going to give up? Shout out to Rusty, that VMAX Climax. He kept going for it, and I believe he ultimately did it. He didn't end up buying singles. People were offering to send him singles. And Rusty, if you're watching this late, how many boxes was it? I didn't remember. I went through some of your live streams really quickly, and I couldn't find how many boxes it was exactly. But PokeRev had his own Reddit post on how many boxes he had opened. So that's how I found the 66 boxes. But yeah, fun little video. 22 minutes long, longer than I expected, but hope everyone had fun in Orlando. I'm sure I had a great time, and next week I will tell you all about it. So I will catch you all later.